Ethics programs are a fundamental component of effective fraud prevention because they promote integrity, accountability, and responsible decision-making throughout an organization. While internal controls reduce opportunities for misconduct, ethics programs address the attitudes and values that influence employee behavior. An effective ethics program establishes clear expectations regarding honesty, compliance, conflicts of interest, confidentiality, and professional conduct. These programs typically include written standards, employee training, leadership commitment, reporting mechanisms, and disciplinary procedures. By reinforcing ethical principles and encouraging employees to act responsibly, organizations create a culture that discourages fraud and misconduct. Strong ethical cultures are consistently associated with lower fraud risk and improved organizational performance. The success of an ethics program depends largely on leadership commitment and organizational culture. Employees often look to management for guidance regarding acceptable behavior, making ethical leadership essential. Leaders who demonstrate integrity, transparency, and accountability establish a powerful example that influences employee conduct. Ethics programs should be integrated into daily business operations rather than treated as isolated compliance initiatives. Regular communication, ethics training, and performance evaluations that consider ethical behavior help reinforce expectations. Organizations should also provide confidential channels for reporting concerns and ensure that reports are investigated appropriately. When employees believe management genuinely supports ethical conduct, they are more likely to comply with organizational standards. A sample anti-fraud policy serves as a formal statement communicating the organization's commitment to preventing, detecting, and responding to fraud. The policy typically defines fraud, outlines prohibited activities, establishes reporting procedures, and describes investigative responsibilities. It also explains the consequences of violating organizational standards and emphasizes management's commitment to fair and consistent enforcement. Effective anti-fraud policies apply to all employees, officers, directors, contractors, and other stakeholders. They encourage prompt reporting of suspected misconduct and provide assurances against retaliation for good faith reports. By clearly communicating expectations and responsibilities, anti-fraud policies help create a consistent framework for managing fraud risks throughout the organization. A fraud policy decision matrix is a practical tool that assists organizations in responding consistently to allegations and incidents of fraud. The matrix provides guidance regarding appropriate actions based on factors such as the severity of the misconduct, financial impact, available evidence, employee involvement, legal considerations, and regulatory requirements. Decision matrices help management determine whether disciplinary action, internal investigation, civil recovery efforts, criminal referral, or other responses are warranted. Consistency in decision-making is important because inconsistent responses can weaken deterrence, undermine employee confidence, and create legal risks. A structured decision-making framework improves fairness, accountability, and transparency when addressing allegations of misconduct. Codes of business ethics and conduct expand upon anti-fraud policies by providing broader guidance regarding expected workplace behavior. These codes typically address issues such as honesty, conflicts of interest, confidentiality, compliance with laws, treatment of customers, use of organizational resources, gifts and entertainment, workplace relationships, and reporting obligations. A well-designed code establishes ethical standards applicable to all levels of the organization and serves as a reference for employees facing difficult decisions. Regular training and acknowledgement procedures help ensure employees understand their responsibilities. Codes of conduct also demonstrate organizational commitment to ethical principles and support a culture where integrity is valued and expected. Together, ethics programs, anti-fraud policies, decision matrices, and codes of conduct form an integrated framework for fraud prevention and ethical governance. These elements work collectively to communicate expectations, guide behavior, support accountability, and provide mechanisms for addressing misconduct. Effective implementation requires ongoing management support, employee education, monitoring, and periodic review to ensure continued relevance and effectiveness. Fraud examiners often assist organizations in evaluating and strengthening these programs as part of broader fraud risk management efforts. When supported by strong leadership and reinforced through consistent actions, these tools help create an ethical culture that reduces fraud risk, strengthens stakeholder confidence, and promotes long-term organizational success.